Greetings, everybody. Picking up where I left off on episode 7, which is probably the best episode I've had so far. Getting a lot of wonderful stuff done. So here's episode 8, and I'm just going to get right to it. So in episode 7, we have a new colonist, Bomba, who's a very good researcher, and he's been plowing through the research for us, and I'm just going to be researching easy stuff as much as I can, you know, just filling it in. Silver made a Mega Sloth wool parka that's just been phenomenal, keeping me very well protected from the elements. Bomba had the plague. Silver still has mechanite issues. Sensory mechanites. But all in all, went pretty well. I answered a refugee call and got a bunch of corpses for Valentina. I haven't yet butchered them because I don't really want that kind of hit yet. But I might end up butchering them. I don't know. But I have some kill box redesign, and I want to eventually expand to the new farm area that I have all blocked out here. I just haven't built yet. You know, but I would need to make a lot of blocks for it. And Silver here is sleeping a lot because of the sensory mechanites. They're helping out with manipulation and that kind of stuff, but they're really hurting the making them sleepy constantly. Really, is what it comes down to. But before he goes to sleep, I'm making him do some chores, cleaning up the kill box. Why? I have no idea, but why not? Is the better question. And I got a whole lot of weapons, really good weapons from that raid, like a chain shotgun, 2 good sniper rifles. One thing I need to make for myself, now that I'm thinking about it, is an armor vest. Yeah. So I'm going to make that as soon as I wake up. As long as I have these sensory mechanites making my manipulation better, I'm going to take full advantage of crafting as much as I can. And having an advanced helmet and an armor vest is really going to help protect me from threats, possible threats. So I'm happy about that. Now it does look somewhat like the food is dwindling, so I'm gonna have to really address getting another getting the other farm going. But this armor vest. Takes a bit. Let's clean up a little bit before we do it. Days, 13 days, 9 days. 9-day stack burst. Get my crafting skill up. I'm at now 8. Started at 6 and disassembled mechonoids and refugee chased at Silverado. I don't think I can offer anyone else further protection. Oh, excuse me. Not at this point. And I saw that Bomba went to sleep, so I'm going to go to sleep myself as well. Try to keep them roughly on the same schedule so I can race through their sleep cycles as time progresses faster when all your pawns are asleep. Item stash opportunity. Let's take a look. It is really far away. Valentina, you are starving because I didn't let you eat these corpses, so that's my bad. I'm gonna fix that. There you go. Oh, there goes a power armor helmet that Valentina ate off a dude's head. Like I said before, unless a trader came by, all that dead man stuff I don't really care about. If Valentina wants to eat, let her eat, because my wealth total's as high as I really wanted to go for now. Got brewing. Let's do some drugs, or research some drugs, more specifically. All right, Silver, you are resting a lot. Let's see if herbal can actually fix your problem here. It can. I haven't yet figured out a way to have them tend themselves. After that, I'm gonna probably disassemble and disable those scythers. Pretty happy about the situation here. All right, so we've got that going. Maybe refining. All right, got myself an armor vest, which is shoddy, but oh well. Could be worse. Can always try to make another one and give the shoddy one to Pamba. I don't suspect he'll be in a lot of combat, given that he's a pacifist, but doesn't hurt, right? I haven't been able to get that much done because Silver's constantly basically having to sleep. He's sort of like a sleep and eat machine due to the sensory mechanites. But could be worse, honestly, so I'm not really going to complain. Gotta watch my batteries. Although there's a pretty good amount of wind. No, I want to flick. Thank you. Save some power here. So yeah, the batteries are draining during this. Not so fast that I'm worried about it, but so this is my last potential blade, and I got it. Fantastic. So let's start hauling this stuff in. So we've broken down all the mechanites now. Or cut off all their arms, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, our batteries are really low now. I'm watching it. Alright, let's flick this. And turn off everything non-essential. And we are recovering some power now, because the grow light's off. turning on the research bench again because the grow light naturally went off. The grow light's still like the vast bulk of the power that we consume. So, as long as that grow light's off, which is 2,900, pretty much that's more than like everything else added up. So we're just about breaking even with no wind. Hopefully the eclipse will be done soon, but this backup battery is bailing us out a bit. So I'll break down these mechonoids, maybe make another armor vest as long as I have the sensory mechanites, and then, oh, eclipse is ending, perfect. And then it will be crafting time. I'm gonna craft up a granite block storm as much as I can. I'll have to travel a little bit to get the granite blocks, like they're not close. Which is too bad that I haven't trained Valentina to haul. But I'm not comfortable at this point with butchering corpses, because with a shared mediocre barrack, you know, that's not great for mood. Alright, so let's craft up another armor vest. Smoke pot belts. So there's a lot more crafting options, obviously. Now, I've opened a lot of options up. So as long as the batteries are a little low, I'm going to be conserving power here decently. Turning things off that I don't need. Wish Valentina would stop opening that door. But what can you do? She does what she wants. She's an independent wargie. So yeah, I feel like the potato stockpile is dwindling. I will want to get that farm up sooner or later, but I don't think it's urgent. I seem to have time. Hoping for a better armor vest than the shoddy one I currently have. Normal or better would be ideal. Fortunately, grinding these out will get my crafting skill up. I'm a little more than halfway, or almost 2/3 of the way to 9. It'd almost be worth queuing up things that take a long time but don't take a lot of resources and then canceling right before I'm done. So this is a normal armor vest that I just got. So let's force wear it. And we can clear the forced stuff. So we can definitely flick off the machining table and the kitchen. Save some battery. Okay, so instead of cleaning continually, let's queue up some granite blocks. So first off, I'm gonna fix the kill box a bit. I'm gonna fix this sort of gap here. I don't really like smoke pot belts. Geothermal power wouldn't be terrible. There's a few geothermal vents here, and they're pretty constant power. I could definitely wall that off and run a cable down. Wouldn't be the worst thing. So smoke pot belts, where do I make them? Make a smoke pot belt. What goes into that? That is chem fuel, so I need a refinery for it. It's not a bad thing to make, but I don't really want to crank out a refinery right now. And it might take my armor vest slot. It might not, I don't know. I really don't know. Haven't used them before. But I wouldn't want it to take my armor vest slot, because I like my armor vest. I like my gear where it is. Although I'm going to need a t-shirt and pants here. What's the difference between button down and... So, blunt sharp 3-3, t-shirt is... So t-shirt is better for... Let's look at this again. Cold. So I think button down is warmer, but it's the same cover. So I'm definitely going to make a t-shirt because it's cheaper. And this takes 50 ingredients, which means my precious Mega Sloth wool is going to go towards a t-shirt and pants, I guess. It's not, you know, I'm actually going to hold out on that. The Mega Sloth wool is just too important. I'd rather make it out of cloth later and wear tattered for now, something like that. Actually, you know what? I should probably not be doing it like that. Let me plan this out a little better. So, what I want is steel doors. Here and here is good ones. Here and here. And that way I'll have access to deadfall traps. Plan those out ahead of time. So I wasted a little bit of granite stone on it, but not terrible amounts. I guess there's these pants I can very temporarily wear in lieu of better pants, because I don't need a shirt, although it is good cover. I can take his. I think that's what I'll do. Because if anyone's going to get shot at, it's probably Silver, right? Ooh, don't consume potatoes. Let's make these potatoes last a bit longer. There we go. What's the oldest now? 7 days? Okay. Maybe I'm not running low on potatoes. Maybe, I mean, it could just be that I have staggered harvest, so it's hard to tell, but... Looks to me like I have a lot of potatoes. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Got nuzzled. I don't know if I'd call a wart cute, but okay. Having Bamba just cranking on this research is quite nice. Geothermal didn't take long at all. Moisture pump? Yeah, that's the last thing I need. Long range mineral scanner. That's pretty cool. So these find underground precious minerals. Sort of like ground penetrating scanner, but they find... Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely something new, so... First, maybe I'll research... No, I'll research that, why not? I'm probably going to research a lot of stuff that I don't need to use initially, anyway. That sort of seems to be the pattern. Okay, I'm just about done having these sensory mechanites. So we can be done with it now. I'm tired of it. Alright, we've used most of our steel for these doors. Look good. One thing I should consider doing is a mortar sometime soon. Just a standard mortar. So I'll get the steel together for that sooner or later. So that if we have a ship, I can just sort of pelt it from a distance initially and not have to get all nice and close. Alright, and then next we want that outside wall constructed so that we can put deadfalls. I don't know how effective deadfall is going to work against mechonoids, but it will soften up the human raiders when I offer refugees or whatever. Alright. I'm not even going to really think about what I'm researching now. I'm getting so much research done. I'm just going to rip through it from like top to bottom. Or right, left to right, I should say. So I don't think there's anything, well, fire foam's pretty important. I'll get fire foam first. And I suppose I should get a multi-analyzer soon-ish. Don't have the gold for it, though, at the moment. Now, if I want another farm going, I clearly need some more power happening. Which means I need to think about another sort of power grid. You know, something like this, and then I just wall this area off. Or put it down here, put it over here. I'm not exactly sure where it will go. All I do know is that I'll need to move it. Alright, well, we have these sensory mechanites. Getting the tailoring done of another Megasloth Wolf Duster is not the worst idea. My crafting skill is a little bit higher, might hit 9 during this. I'm going to want to rest and eat. A heat wave? Well, at least it's fall. I just don't want these bodies to spoil. That's really the only concern. I shouldn't say only concern, but main concern. Now, if I wanted gold for the multi-analyzers, there's definitely gold down there that I can use. Alright, pretty sure I'm going to hit 9 before the finish of this duster. Poison ship. Really? Landed there? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Alright, let's see. Toss a sniper rifle on. Hop outside. Go to max range, or close to max range, and seeing that it is all caterpillars, I'll try to lure them into the base. Don't really want inferno cannons going off in the base though, so I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. The kiting and shooting. Just watch my rest needs. Oh, that first caterpillar got shredded by a silver here. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of damage per shot. Maybe they're a little easier. Because these 4 shots brought this caterpillar to brink of death. These 3 shots, this caterpillar is pretty low too. Maybe silver's just a really good shot. Maybe it's the sensory mechanites that are making it easier. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it. The sensory mechanites are giving me a lot of sight, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's like as if I have bionic eyes here or something, you know? Because I definitely have sight enhanced. And manipulation enhanced. So that definitely could be giving me the edge. Oh, but that's stupid. I really should have... Alright, I'm going to do that now. Instead of having the plants, because I already have food problems. Ship ASAP as a result. this is really annoying. Alright, I'm going to cancel these walls, because that was hard to deal with. And rest. Alright, nice. So we have a lot more steel and a little bit more silver. We were low on steel, so that's going to be helpful. That's going to give us enough steel to make the farms additional AC and stuff like that. I still need the components, but the caterpillars are going to work with that. That poison ship was not hard to deal with. It's kind of easy, in fact. Alright. Bomba's been puking in the barracks here, so this barracks is a little more nasty than it needs to be. It is actually ugly now, so I'm going to give it a nice clean when I wake up. Oh, well, I guess that comes first. Can't argue with that logic. Food is important. It'd be cool if there was like a right-click clean this room option, rather than just clean the general area. That way, like if you have a wall... What is this stuff? Scatter... Oh, yeah. From the ship. That way, you know, if you have a wall like this and you right-click clean here, it's not jumping between walls over and over and over. Heat wave is over? Yeah, I didn't even really notice the heat wave. Alright, crafting's 9. Probably this is not going to be any better than a good quality duster. But having a backup in case this one gets shot with holes is not bad. Keep trying to find those oldest potatoes. It was impressive, and then Valentina ran around and made it slightly less impressive. Let's tidy it up. Being able to separate farm, which has a lot of dirt and sand, from the living areas will be really nice in the future. That'd be a really nice touch, because as it is now, you know, things get pretty dirty in here. It'd be nice if it being dirty wasn't detrimental. Really not sure how, like, a stove breaks down so awful quality. Well, that's significantly worse than I thought it would be. I think before I do that, I'm going to put a steel door in here and here. Shortcuts so that I don't have to get stuck running through the deadfall trap area. That does mean my components are going to go to hell. I'm going to really run low on them. And maybe these weren't the best areas to put this stuff in, but whatever. It's done now. What I could eventually do is tile it up so that I can walk faster around this area, not track so much sand everywhere. And then what I'll do here is run like a cable down like that or something. There. Now we have auto doors to be able to escape the deadfall trap area. How much steel do we have left? Only really have enough left. Well, I also want to get a mortar up, so I think I'm going to pause on the deadfall idea and work on that mortar. Although I don't really have any, mortar shells, which takes chem fuel, which means a refinery too. So I need a lot more steel if I really want to do a mortar. I need like 450. So I better start stockpiling. Breaking down the caterpillars will help a little bit with that. Not a big fan of how silver's sleeping through. I've noticed a few times. Silver will hit max sleep and then kind of just lay there. Alright. Doubling up the wall. And of course I already immediately caused a no path. I am genius. Alright, let's haul these centipedes and disassemble them before I forget about them. Some cargo pods. Monkey hide? Well, I needed clothing, so that's most welcome. I'll just make some monkey hide shirts and pants. That's a lot of monkey hide. That's enough for shirts and pants. They don't insulate heat very well, but that won't really matter for shirts or pants for that matter. I should probably work on that multi-analyzer sometime soon. But let's haul this stuff in before it decays. Before I forget it's out there. So that's quite a lot of fabric. It's 2 more full trips. And I am over the sensory mechanites, so I no longer have narcolepsy, basically. Which is great. Intellectual 20. So in the patch notes it did say that like skill gain and skills are going to be more sensible. I did hit 20 pretty quick. I started at I think 16 or 17, so maybe not that quick, but skill gain changes might have been modified a bit. And we got mechonoids. Let's see what kind. Oh, nice. Inferno's not so thrilled about. Um, but the fact that they're not Scythers is a welcome change. Oh, come on, I was telling you to move. That was my sloppiness. So I guess I should blame only myself. They have some pretty good range. Just I could stand a little further. Then I'll have to patch up my burns before they get bad. Infections suck. Especially given that Bomba can't really help me out there, as he's not really a doctor at all, he's just a researcher. Yeah, so those sensory mechanites definitely helping last raid, because these things are not going down as easy. Bionic eyes, definitely a nice thing. I think what I'll do is I'll leave them upright and just shoot them down for skill. So I think I'm about to hit 13. Yeah, I just hit 13 during this fight, I believe. Alright, so let's go heal myself and take off my pants, apparently. They suffered a little damage. So now I'm wearing cloth pants. Alright, so I've patched myself up, mostly. Done. Well-earned rest, that's for sure. So all these additional caterpillars are definitely going to help level me up a bit. Not level, well, level my shooting up, but also get some construction done, etc., etc. Ooh, cargo pods. Please be something good. And it's meat. So, really good. So that means I can do some training. So what I think I'm going to do here is move the meat. I wish there was like one corpse it was eaten. I suppose I could force that. Stone cutter table. Why am I blanking on it? Alright, so here's the deal. I am going to actually destroy this to open some more space up. Because this is all wood, mostly, which is pretty valuable. And I can replace it with a steel construction, which is less valuable to me. So before I forget, we still have a lot of stuff to haul. So I'm going to set up first for hauling the meat, which means moving these corpses over a little bit. Alright, and now stockpiling for that meat that's going to spoil first. So clear, raw food, meat. Let's go get that bird meat. Let's relax socially and eat a little bit first so I don't have a freak out, and then go get that bird meat. You want to rest? Why would you want to rest? You aren't even remotely tired. Let's go get that bird meat. You want to rest because you're hurt, I suspect. Alright, so our mood's a little low. I've got to be careful of that. So now, at this point, I will change this zone. Training meat. So I'm going to allow Valentina to get access to these corpses, and primarily this one because it's the most eaten. So I'll disallow the other things. And that gives me the ability to then train Valentina with Bomba, who's actually a pretty decent animal trainer, all things considered. Alright, so I'm fully healed. It's going to help my mood a bit. Oh, and we got to change simple meals so that we never cook with meat. We don't have that luxury yet. So the oldest stack of potatoes, 9, 14, 11, 9. Okay, let's move this stack of potatoes in. Switch guns. I'm going to switch to the shotgun. I just want to see it in action when finishing off these mechonoids. So it says, like, get real close. That is all sorts of satisfying. So we'll haul this and then have a little bit of a meal. Don't want to have a break. Alright, so she has now eaten that one. So what's next? I'm going to delete this zone here. Haul him so that she can eat that. Okay, good. Now let's finish off this other guy out here. The fun way. Loving up that shooting. That is one dangerous looking weapon. Alright, awesome. And we'll break down the mechonoids for parts. Also, we'll level up my crafting a little bit. Get some extra steel, because we needed it. Because the refinery is definitely something we're going to need soon. We're also going to want... Where is it? I always forget. Steel stone cutters. And that's going to probably be the last crafting thing we put in there, because I'm probably not going to be able to shove that much more in here. flare. Don't spoil bodies, please. Solar flares usually tend to be short, and I have really good heat insulation now, so I'm not going to worry too much about the solar flares. If Bomba starts getting hot, I can always toss this duster on, which will protect me for 58.6 more temperature. I just don't want the bodies to spoil. That would be really sad. I could always bring in another set of refugees, though. Alright, so now we have steel stone cutters, and we're going to want granite blocks. Let's haul this stuff out of the way first. Oh, speaking of refugees, but I'm not quite there yet. These bodies haven't spoiled. I haven't had to bury them. And the solar flare ended in due time. Alright, oldest stack of potatoes, 13, 10, 10. Let's put these potatoes where they belong. Now, I might also want to get an electric smelter plopped maybe here. I do have some slag. Maybe I'm not going to do that quite yet. It's not quite as important as the other stuff. I'm not going to build this stuff until I need it, so it doesn't have a chance to break down. So I guess I'm just going to be crafting up some granite chunks and using it for construction. That's a pretty good item stash. And that's pretty far away. Transport pods, definitely something I'm going to want once I get that refinery up. The trouble is I'm going to really have to calculate how much steel and stuff I'm going to have to transport with me so that I can get home faster, more promptly. Alright, so we definitely have enough for a refinery, which you can plop out here. Running low on components, but not critically. So now, let's look at, let's say, organics, which is, I'm not going to make it out of anything right now. I could always make it out of, like, butchered people, but that'd be awful. So this is a intellectual skill. What about from wood? It's still intellectual. Interesting. So it's a chemist. Chemistry type stuff. Alright, let's make some more blocks. Both going to sleep at the same time, that's pretty good. Exotic goods trader, that's exactly what we need. I'm gonna wake up for that, because we have Scyther blades a bazillion. But we need to turn on our beacon, don't we? Alright, so we have a lot of Scyther blades, 11 of them. That's a lot of... Oh, that's good. Alright, we have naturamine that we could sell, but I don't want to just yet. We could buy gold for that multi-analyzer. I'm gonna buy a grand statue and the wooden normal ones because wood is rare. So let's buy everything wood. Wood. Plasteel, hospital bed wouldn't be terrible. It's really expensive, but I mean, we're selling so many scyther blades. Because of how rare it is for them to visit us, I want to stockpile as much as I can. So buy the room rat. Buy the steel grand sculpture, why not? I don't know, that's kind of big. Looking around, maybe I just won't. I mean, I could buy the Doomsday launchers, but maybe I just won't sell them all the Scyther blades. Because there's nothing else really here that's calling to me to buy. I could buy plasteel or like component. Well, I already buying the components. I could buy more naturamine, but I could best. I mean, I could buy them their naturamine out and just sell them less. So I'll do that. Alright, so now these new sculptures I'm going to not break down unless I need them to try to make the barracks here a little bit more attractive. This may have, I don't know what this did in terms of our colony's wealth though. I have to keep an eye on that. This grand one I'm just going to break down. It's too big. It's a pretty decent amount of wood considering how rare it is for us to have wood in here. I think it's only slightly impressive because it's has ugly stuff in it, so let's tidy it up a little bit more to see how good it can be. Very impressive. That's better. It's still a barracks, but it breaks even, I suppose. It's better than what we were at before. So as for total wealth, that definitely made us a little bit wealthier. So we can expect slightly harder raids, etc. But in the big scheme of things, not a big deal. I'm coming up on about the end of this episode. I'm getting pretty close. But you can kind of see where I'm headed here. We got some good defense, and we're working on the farm. And we have a pretty good amount of food for Valentina. Doesn't seem to have taken to the training yet. We still have some extra scyther blades left over for trade. Very good position we're in. Put the silver away. I'm curious. I don't think they're ever going to come. No. It's too hot, but let's see. bad temperature. Pretty much what I expected. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to end this episode, everyone. Let's get Silver back inside. Well, I'll end it on a little bang, right? Ooh, that was interesting. Thanks, Valentina. I guess we're not going to end it on a bang. Valentina said no. It's not bad to have my medicine practice this way. This works, right? Let's see, I'm at 3,000. Yeah, a little bit. Probably a waste of the herbal, but alright, so that's the end of this episode. I hope you all enjoyed all the I would say luck. I got got pretty lucky here, without a doubt. And next episode is definitely going to be getting this farm up and ready for sure. That's top of top priorities. But I hope you all enjoyed, and tune in next time. And if you haven't already, please think about subscribing, or at the very least liking this video, and I will catch you all later. Adios.